There are cities you visit, and then there are cities that imprint themselves on your spirit. My recent journey through Lisbon and Porto was not merely a trip. It was an immersion into light, history, flavor, and soul. Through every photograph I captured, from golden sunsets to tiled facades, I realized that these two Portuguese gems are not just destinations. They are experiences layered in color, culture, and timeless elegance. Lisbon is the city of light and discovery. Lisbon greets you first with light. There is a luminosity here, soft, golden, reflective, that dances off the Tagus River and glows against centuries-old buildings clad in azulejos. Standing at Praça do Comércio, facing the river, I felt the immensity of Portugal's maritime past. The square, grand and open, once welcomed explorers returning from voyages that reshaped the world. Wandering through Alfama, Lisbon's oldest district, I found narrow cobblestone streets climbing steep hills, punctuated by the melancholic strains of fado music. My images from Alfama show laundry fluttering between buildings, locals leaning from wrought iron balconies, and the iconic yellow tram 28 rattling its way through history. Lisbon's transportation system is not just practical, it is cinematic. The vintage trams, the funiculars lifting passengers up impossibly steep inclines, and the efficient metro make navigating the city both seamless and charming. Porto is pure romance along the Douro. If Lisbon is luminous and expansive, Porto is intimate and poetic. Built along the Douro River, Porto feels layered, colorful houses stacked upon hillsides, red-tiled roofs cascading toward the water. My first panoramic view from across the river near Dom Luís I Bridge remains etched in memory. The iron bridge stretches elegantly between Porto and Vila Nova de Gaia, offering one of the most photographed vistas in Europe. From its upper deck, the city unfolds like a living postcard. One of the most breathtaking moments of my visit was at Belém Tower. Framed by the river and glowing at sunset, this UNESCO-listed monument stands as a sentinel to Portugal's age of discoveries. Nearby, the Jerónimos Monastery astonishes with its Manueline architecture, intricate carvings that seem to defy stone itself. In my photographs, the monastery's cloisters form perfect geometric frames of light and shadow, symbolizing Lisbon's balance between grandeur and serenity. Food in Lisbon is not an afterthought. It is a celebration. At the historic Pastéis de Belém, I tasted the legendary pastel de nata, still warm, with its caramelized top giving way to creamy custard. Dining along the Time-Out Market, I sampled bacalhau prepared in multiple ways, grilled sardines fresh from the Atlantic, and tender octopus drizzled in olive oil. Each dish felt like a tribute to the sea that defines the country's identity. The Ribeira district, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, pulses with life. Cafes line the riverfront, street musicians play under open skies, and boats glide gently along the Douro. My images capture the kaleidoscope of buildings, ochre, blue, coral, each weathered yet vibrant. Porto feels less polished than Lisbon, but that is precisely its charm. It is authentic, soulful, and deeply rooted. A visit to Livraria Lello was like stepping into a literary dream. Its ornate staircase curves dramatically under stained glass ceilings. Every photograph inside seems touched by magic. Not far away, the Baroque beauty of Clérigos Tower offers a climb rewarded by sweeping views of terracotta rooftops and the winding Douro. Lisbon's tourists are as diverse as its neighborhoods. Couples, solo travelers, families, digital nomads, each drawn by the city's reputation for warmth and beauty. Yet even with its popularity, Lisbon retains authenticity. Locals greet you with kindness, shopkeepers offer recommendations with pride, and cafe owners encourage you to linger over espresso. Porto's gastronomy is hearty and bold. The francesinha, a layered sandwich filled with meats and smothered in rich beer sauce, is indulgence at its finest. And of course, there's port wine. Touring the historic cellars across the river introduced me to centuries of craftsmanship. A glass of tawny port at sunset, overlooking the water, is not just a drink. It is a ritual. Transportation in Porto is efficient yet unobtrusive. The metro connects key points smoothly, and walking is often the best way to explore. Yes, the hills are demanding, but each ascent reveals a new perspective worth the effort. Taxis and ride shares are affordable, making it easy for visitors to navigate. When I review my photographs from Lisbon and Porto, I see more than architecture and landscapes. I see narrative. In Lisbon, the images are bathed in golden hues, sunlight reflecting on tiled facades, the river shimmering at dusk, pastel buildings standing against blue skies. There is movement in Lisbon's pictures, trams in motion, crowds in lively plazas, waves brushing against stone embankments. In Porto, the palette deepens. Rich reds, burnt oranges, and dusky blues dominate the frames. The Douro River mirrors the city's colors like a painting. My camera lingered on details: wrought iron balconies, hand-painted tiles, aging wooden doors. Porto's beauty reveals itself slowly, in textures and quiet moments. Together, these cities tell a story of contrast and harmony. Lisbon is cosmopolitan yet traditional. Porto is rustic yet refined. Lisbon stretches outward toward the ocean. Porto gathers inward along the river. Experiencing both offers a complete portrait of Portugal. What makes Lisbon and Porto essential travel destinations is not merely their landmarks, it is their atmosphere. They are cities where history breathes alongside modern life, where centuries-old monasteries coexist with contemporary art galleries, where food is both comfort and culture. Safety, hospitality, and accessibility add to their appeal. English is widely spoken, public transportation is reliable, and the cities are compact enough to explore without stress. The cost of dining and accommodation remains reasonable compared to many Western European capitals, making luxury and authenticity accessible. But beyond logistics, there is emotion. Lisbon and Porto evoke feeling, wonder at architectural splendor, joy in shared meals, reflection while overlooking sweeping vistas. They are cities that invite you not only to visit, but to belong, even if briefly. As a travel advisor, I often describe destinations in terms of itineraries and recommendations. Yet Lisbon and Porto transcend checklists. They are best understood through experience and through images that capture their essence. A sunset behind Belém Tower, a tram climbing a Lisbon hill, the Dom Luís I Bridge silhouetted against twilight, a glass of port raised in celebration. In every photograph I took, I found proof that these cities are masterpieces of culture and character. Lisbon and Porto are not just places on a map, they are living works of art. And once you have walked their streets, tasted their cuisine, and watched their light change from dawn to dusk, you will understand why they belong on every traveler's must-visit list.